What's up, everybody? You ever thought about creating a TikTok channel? You ever wonder how you get followers if you do create the TikTok channel? Stay tuned in this video. We'll talk about how you can grow your TikTok channel from 0 to over 70,000 followers in a short period of time. Hope you enjoy. Hello and welcome everybody to the very first episode of Freestyle Fridays. These episodes are designed to be 30 minutes or less, have various topics and various guests. Today's guest is the creator of Smalltownindiana TikTok channel. He went from 0 followers to over 70,000 in a short period of time. So I wanted to chat with him about how he grew his channel, what the vision is going forward, and how people may be able to use this to grow their business or different things like that. So without further ado, say hi.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I am the creator of Smalltownindiana. I hope everyone is doing well.
Creator you are. Okay, so speaking of creating the channel, what was the purpose of creating your channel?
Well, so I originally had a channel called Bearded Dad 24. I still have that channel. I just don't post a lot on it. And I created it like the majority of people probably on TikTok right now during the pandemic and COVID, when everything was closed down. There wasn't much to do. So I thought I would jump on there and just goof around and have some fun. Then I come up with this idea to fly my drone over small towns in Indiana and kind of do a voiceover of, different aspects of the town or the history of the town, which is why it's named Smalltownindiana. Fun fact, I don't actually live in a small town in Indiana. I do live in Indiana, but I am a city dweller.
Okay, so speaking of that, so from evolution of the idea of flying the drone over the towns to what? Where did you get to? Where did you start gaining traction on the channel?
Well, I did I believe if I'm trying to think back, I did a couple Second Amendment type videos, and I got 3,000 or 4,000 followers, and kind of really what bumped me up. We had a mass shooting here in Greenwood, Indiana, and it was quickly stopped by a hero that was concealed carrying inside the Greenwood Park Mall. And I didn't know too much about the dude that stopped the mass shooting. Unfortunately, 3 people did lose their lives, but many more would have. And I basically just got on. I was doing some ride share, and I was out at a sporting goods store parking lot, and just got on there and did a quick video about this dude and what happened, and the information I had at the time, and said, regardless of what type of person this ends up being, he's a hero because he saved many lives, and that bumped me up. I think I gained probably 7,000 to 10,000 followers just off that video. And it was one of my more successful videos until recently.
Right. And so when you noticed that you got some traction from that, did you decide that, hey, I stalked your channel and talked to you prior to this, and I know that a lot of your videos are related to breaking news or different news in Indiana. So is that kind of where you went with that after you saw that traction from reporting on that?
Well, yeah. So here's the thing. So although I do talk a lot of stuff or talk about a lot of news in Indiana, it is not strictly an Indiana channel. I do talk about some true crime type stuff in other states. I talk about national news such as Second Amendment type stuff, because that's what I'm passionate about. So when I was in high school, I was kind of lucked out and was on the school newspaper, and I took an interest to journalism and things like that. And then I just kind of got away from that. Life happens. And then when I started realizing that I can do a little research, I can listen to different apps and get on different apps and try and break news before news channels. And so that's what I try and do. There's been a couple things that I've reported on that I put out a video before local news channels, and I'm proud of that because it's they have all the technology to get all the information before anyone else. They have the sources, they have all that good stuff. But yeah, once I noticed that the phrase breaking news, which I use a lot, and some of that is satire, because sometimes I'll talk about something that is a week old, and I'll say breaking news just because it upsets people. And that's okay, because they comment on it and say, this isn't breaking news. And, we have news channels. And I just tell them, hey, thanks for being a fan. Thanks for commenting on my video, because every comment, negative or positive, helps me with the algorithm. So thank you.
Right. So what would you say the value, and I guess in terms of when I say value, it could be that it's strictly for entertainment. It could be that it's all about being informative and accurate, true, accurate information. Is it entertainment? Is it your opinion? Is it factual, or is it a mix of all?
I think it's a mixture, and I think that's why my engagement and my followers continue to go up. When you watch the news, it's usually somebody sitting there reading off a teleprompter, and they put no spin on it. There's no opinion, which, true news, you really shouldn't give your opinion. And I don't give a whole lot of opinion. Mine is more, I can goof around a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't have to be so straight-laced like a regular newscast or a regular reporter or someone that is, there's a lot of these true crime sleuths out there, which I don't consider myself just true crime. Although when I started talking about the Delphi murders, that's another one that really catapulted my viewers and my followers. So I think all three. Some of my videos are my opinion. I try and be as factual as I can with what I know at the time. I think something that's a little different with me is that if I'm wrong about something, I'll usually comment on it. It's hard to go back and redo a video, because especially if you've already got engagement, you don't want to do that. But I can go in. You used to be able to pin the comments. So I would pin the comment that, hey, I was incorrect about this part of whatever I talked about. And people like that, because I've got engagement from people saying, hey, we really appreciate you, correcting something when I've made a mistake, because I'm going off the information that I have when I make the video. And that's anytime somebody's doing a true crime TikTok or any type of social media or news, you can only go off of what you know at the time.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting, because, a lot of my background is in investigative work, and it's all about the facts. But I will say it's about the facts as you know them at that particular time. So that doesn't mean you're always right. It doesn't mean that you're reporting fake news or false information. It just means that you were not aware of some of those facts that you might find out at a later point. So I totally understand that. What would you say the direction you want to go from here? Are you just going to stay doing exactly what you're doing? You got any big ideas to make any sort of changes?
Yeah, I do have some ideas. I don't want to say a lot of those on here, because There are things that I want to do that I think is going to be before anyone else does them. I want to incorporate, obviously different types of social media into my TikTok, because you never know what's going to happen with TikTok. There's rumors that, it's the United States is trying to shut it down because of some things that, I won't get into just in the background. But the way I see it, we're always being tracked all the time. If you have a cell phone, if you look at any case, if you look at the Idaho murders and how they caught that dude and how they tracked him, if you have a cell phone in your pocket, they can find out where you're at, and they can track you and what you're doing. So when I say they, I mean anybody that wants to do so. So whether or not we're being tracked on apps, I think everybody's aware that we are. I mean, you can, I'm talking to you right now about tracking, and I'm sure I'll get some ads pop up on my Google about, something with, how to track people, so.
Right. Yeah. That's a conversation for another
right.
Freestyle Friday, but obviously, that's a hot topic, I think the government has made it official that no government agency, at least on their computers, will have TikTok, or their phones government issued phones shouldn't have TikTok on it, so on and so forth. I think the issue is more so that TikTok's owned by China, but again, that's a conversation for another episode. So,
right.
Moving on to some of your other social media platforms, are they as successful, or are they you kind of just creating them under that same flag, and then you're going to grow them, hopefully with some of the followers on your TikTok?
Right. So yeah, I have, what am I at? 74,000 on TikTok. I decided to go ahead and make a Twitter account, make a YouTube account, and make an Instagram account, all where I'm going to start putting my TikTok videos on there as well, just in case something happens. I want to do a little more with YouTube. I want to try and gain my YouTube to 1,000 subscribers so that I can go live and do different things on YouTube. Eventually, I want to do a podcast, probably more of a, Indiana type, local stuff only type podcast. Just things like that. Obviously, you want to expand as much as you can. I want to get I want to get some stickers made with my logo, and I want to get some shirts made and just try and put different Indiana slogans on there, because I do know that the majority of my followers are from Indiana, and I do have a lot of engagement from Chicago for some reason, and I have a lot of engagement like out of Fort Wayne, Indianapolis. You can see all that stuff in your analytics of your videos, but yeah, I want to obviously expand into other social media realms so that I can be around for a while. I enjoy doing this. It can be taxing at times, because there's a lot of breaking news. There's stuff out there right now that I wanted to do videos about, but I just haven't had the time today to do them. So, that's the hard part. Just keeping up on everything. I do have a full-time job and a part-time job and social media. So I got a lot going on, and I'm stretching myself thin.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth noting that, it goes from a hobby, just from what I can see already with this podcast. I'm very new to it, but it goes from just a hobby and thinking you found something that would be interesting to people, and a little bit of pressure. You start to assume a little bit of pressure with getting content together. But what I've told myself is I don't want to sacrifice any of the quality for quantity. So I'm not just trying to throw content on here unless it's worthy of being on here. So I'd rather skip an episode or a week or two or a month even if I can't get the right people on my podcast. And so I know what you mean about, being stretched thin but I think I would say, stick with what you're doing because obviously it's working and people are consuming that content. I'll be interested to see your YouTube channel and your various things. So, and on that note, are all your videos, what's the background for all your videos? Are you going to an actual scene of something? Are you just, in your house recording these? What are you doing?
A little bit of both. I don't think I've been to an actual, well, that's not true. If I roll up on something, then I'll do a video, about it. Sometimes if I'm out driving around and I see a good spot that would be cool to make a video, then I'll just get out and make a video there. And it may not have anything to do with the background, but sometimes it's cool just to see different things. Otherwise, I'm doing it in my house. That's probably, 80% of my videos. Just because it's convenient, I have everything I need. But I have stuff to be able to do it mobile. I did a live at the initial hearing of Richard Allen, which is the man accused of killing Abby and Libby in Delphi, Indiana. I went there during his initial hearing, and I was almost inside the courtroom. I was 2 away from going inside when it filled up. So then I just went live outside and stayed outside all day, and people really enjoyed that. I got a lot of engagement out of that. I gained a lot of followers. So for me, and people hearing this may say, well, what's the benefit of followers? What's the benefit of having people follow your channel? Well, when you get to a certain number of followers, a whole new avenue opens up. And when the TikTok algorithm sees that people are engaging in your videos, people are following you, then they will pump your video out to more people. The more engagement, the more comments, the more likes, the more shares, the more your video just keeps building and building and building. And so that's why it's important to have followers. It's important to have engagement. Like I said, if I haven't said anyway, that, when someone makes a negative comment, it's okay. I'm okay with it because it's still engagement. So negative or positive, I'm still getting something out of it. I'm not making any money off my TikTok at this point. I don't have enough subscribers on YouTube or Instagram or anything like that to make any money. It's strictly doing it because I know people like it because I've gotten feedback from folks that have commented saying, one of the best comments is, I live here. How have I not heard about this already? You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, I'm glad you haven't, and I'm glad you're hearing it from me because you're going to come back every day and you're going to check my TikTok and see if I posted anything new that you don't know about. And, that's important.
Yeah, I would say I was going to address that, or at least ask you about, engagement. All engagement is not necessarily good engagement. I mean, in terms of the responses that you get, but in terms of, engagement, as far as developing or sending out your video to more folks, I guess it is. But the question for you is, percentage wise, would you say the overwhelming percentage is positive versus negative? I know there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there that like to get on there and talk crazy on these social media platforms.
Yeah. And to that, I say, thanks for being a fan. I love it when people go on there and they talk and they have negative comments, but then when I go to their profile, they have no videos and they're following me. There's one particular person that comments on every video I have and wants me to talk about this and talk about that. But I go to their profile and they have no videos and they follow me.
Right.
And they say that I'm fear mongering because I'm just reporting on what's out there. And it's not my fault that the majority of news around where I live and interact is, you know, negative and crime and things like that. I would love to be able to help change that. But
right.
Yeah. So, you know, but I would say the majority of the comments I get are positive or, you know, or people talking about different things. I just posted something about the ATF and the pistol brace ban. And there's a lot of engagement on that right now. Because it's a hot topic that people care about. And so I enjoy that. You know what I mean? Go on there. Let's talk about it. Let's, you know, when people go to the comments, they can learn some things. Now you have to weed out the stuff that people are saying just to, like you said, the keyboard warriors that are just, you know, spewing nonsense. But there is a lot of education out there if you seek it on TikTok. So that's important. There's a couple things that really make me happy when someone comes up to me when I'm out on the street or they see me somewhere and they say, "Hey, are you that breaking news guy or are you the guy on TikTok?" I love that. I don't mind that one bit. Because I want to know it lets me know that it's getting out to people, right? To real people. And, or, you know, I'll get some comments on a video. "Hey, were you at Costco and Avon today?" "Yep, that was me. You should have come up and said hi," you know? And generally they say, you know, "Well, I didn't want to bother you." But, you know, that right there is important. It's important. Not because I want to be recognized, but it just lets me know that, hey, there are real people that enjoy what I do enough to watch the videos to be able to recognize me out in the wild, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense. And I know that, you know, just knowing a little bit about you, I know that, you know, you're not doing it for the wrong reasons. You're not doing it for attention. You see that there's some value in this for other people. So I say to that, keep doing what you're doing. My last question to you would be if someone's brand new to TikTok, never been on there before, and they want to create something and gain a lot of followers, where would you tell them to start? How would you tell them to go about that process?
Well, I actually had a conversation with a gentleman at the Greenwood Park Mall. He's an artist, and he makes and paints different type of things. And we got to talking just about different things, and my TikTok came up. And I'll tell everybody, just like I told him, you just have to, whatever you're passionate about, whatever you enjoy doing, do it. You know what I mean? Just go out and make a video about it. And if your passion is making art or drawing or singing or whatever the case may be, get on there and make yourself a 30-second video and post it. And the first, 10, 12, 15 videos, you may not get any views or many views or any engagement. But the more you post, the more you keep doing the same thing and you develop your niche, whatever that may be, the more your videos will get out there and you'll get the engagement and the followers will come. Ask your friends and family to follow you. That doesn't hurt, and if you post something that they like, they can share it with other people. You don't have to just share it on TikTok. You can share it on, Facebook. You can share it on Instagram. You can share it on YouTube, whatever. There was a video of mine. I simply duetted another video, and then once we had a lady here in Indiana drive right in the middle of the canal when it was frozen, just driving like she was on a street. And I showed that part of it, and then I got on there and just explained what she was doing. Hey, keep in mind, this isn't a road. It's not a driveway. This is ice. And eventually she fell through, and I posted a couple pictures of her car, in the video. And that's got 900,000 views,
Right.
It's just simple stuff like that. You know what I mean? Duet people. When you duet people that have the same passion as you, and you talk about it or whatever, or you stitch it, then that gets engagement. So you just got to go out there and do it. I don't think there's a magic pill that you can take to go out and get a bunch of followers. I think in my case, when I quickly found out that people like breaking news, people like knowing what's going on in their community, and I could talk about that, and I can do it to where people enjoy it. Hey, that's what I want to do. I just want to be myself on my videos and talk about what's going on, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, I love it the most when an individual becomes successful on a social media platform doing what they love to do versus changing themselves, maybe changing their personality completely because they think people are looking for a certain thing. I just think if you're genuine and you do videos or whatever it may be about what you love to do, you're going to find like-minded people who follow you. And there are a fair amount of people out there that, will follow you. Your numbers will grow from there. I think that's the best way to do it. That's in my opinion, but
yeah, absolutely. Like I have a few goals. My number one goal right now is to get to 100,000 followers. You get to 100,000 followers. There's different things that you can do. There's a lot of things that happen true crime wise that people want to know. People want, hey, what's in this probable cause affidavit? Well, to go get a probable cause affidavit, you got to pay for that type of stuff. And again, hey, I do this part time. It's a passion of mine, but to go out and search this information and to pay for this type of information, when you get engagement, then TikTok is going to want to start, sending people your way that maybe want to do ads or whatever, or maybe there's a product that I'm interested in that I want to do a video about, a review about. And if I can do that and make money for the channel to be able to go get those kind of documents and records, I think then I'll go next level, especially if I go into the podcast and I'm able to have that information, having probable cause affidavits and getting people to, be a source. All that will help in the long run. But I got a long way to go. That's still 25,000 followers I got to get. And, that's not easy. It's not easy. I just got to keep doing what I've been doing. People are enjoying it, and I enjoy doing it.
Yeah, well, I think you're on the right track. I'm sure you'll reach that goal in a short period of time. And I want to thank you for coming on the first episode of Freestyle Friday. More episodes to come, and I wish you all the best luck in the world, and stay in touch.
I will. One last thing from me. If you could follow me on YouTube, it's Smalltownindiana 317. Subscribe to my YouTube. I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers, so I'll be allowed or able to go live on there. I also have a Twitter, Smalltown_Indy, and then my Instagram is SmalltownIndy. And then, of course, the TikTok is Smalltown, Indiana. All that information, if you're on TikTok, is in my bio. And I appreciate everyone for the likes, the follows, the comments, and the engagement. And I appreciate you putting me on this podcast.
All right. Thanks again. See you soon.
Have a good one.